Don't you? I know, but you know if you make them, don't make them waste your time.
Thank you so much, Gerard. Good morning to you, Grenada Carriacou and PD Martinique. Those of you joining us now via GBN Television, good morning, and it is always a joy to have you. Special welcome to those of you on our social media platforms. We're streaming live on GBN Television page. We're also coming to you live on YouTube or YouTube page, and of course our website www.gbn.gd. It's the mid-morning buzz. We're with you until at least just about 12 before we wrap up for the midday news. On our program today, we'll be discussing scholarship opportunities, the Evening Scholarship. We have joining us online right now the resident British High Commission, Miss Wendy Freeman, and Mr. Richie Maitland. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us today. Thank you.
It's my joy to have you. Whenever we have opportunities for further learning, I'm excited, and I'm excited for whoever the recipients will be this year. So thank you for sharing the opportunities available with us here on K105 and of course GBN Television and our other platforms. So Ms. Freeman, I will start with you. Tell us a bit more about the Evening Scholarship.
Thank you. Well, it's an annual competition, fully funded by the UK government, and it's for applicants to go to the UK, study at a UK university for a master's degree. So it's in any course. There's no limits on the type of course, and it's fully funded by the UK government. So there's an application process that started the beginning of September and closes the 3rd of November. So we're really encouraging as many people as possible who are interested to apply and to see how they go. And this is a system, this scheme has been running since 1983. There are over 50,000 alumni around the world. And we have an active alumni group here in Grenada of achievers who've been and come back. So it's a lot of benefits to the individual as well. And what we're looking for applicants, really, those who've got leadership, can show their leadership skills and their aspirations in the application process. And that the idea is that they return to Grenada after their time in the UK and have the potential to rise to leadership positions and to help their country when they come back. So that's really, in a nutshell, what it's about.
Okay.
But it's really, it offers more than just the masters. You have the experience of being in the UK for the year. You have lots of opportunities that the Evening organisation give you when you're there to attend networking events during your year there, and other government run events as well that are happening in conferences. So there's a lot more that I think you get out of it. But I know Richie's going to tell a bit more about the experience because he's been through the process and he's one of our achievement alumni. And I should say that we've got a really active alumni here, and that includes Acting Commissioner of Police, Edwin Martin, and Acting Magistrate, Kinemaras Victor as well. We've got about a group of about 30 alumni, but those are just two examples of people who've come back.
Wonderful. Before we get to Richie, though, you mentioned it was a competition. So how does one enter to get in the run-ins for the scholarship?
Well, yeah, it's not a competition per se, but it's an application process. So we encourage as many applicants as possible, and then there's a selection process. So as with interviews for a job offer, they're looking at the criteria. They're looking for people really to show their leadership skills or their leadership aspirations.
Okay.
Whatever field. And then, so they're sifted down by the Evening organisation in the UK to interviews, and interviews are conducted locally, normally run from our High Commission in Barbados, But interviews are, so people will get notified normally by the beginning of January if they're shortlisted for interviews. Interviews take place February, March time, and then successful candidates get notified in the summer.
Okay.
For the autumn intake.
Is it just one applicant from Grenada, or is it one from? No.
We have. Well, there are 10 places for the Eastern Caribbean as a whole.
Okay.
So, and it's not. We don't have it subdivided into, say, 2 Grenada, 2. It's the strongest applicants get through.
Okay, from the entire subdivision.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So
I got you.
We have 2 successful candidates this year. One is deferring till next year, but so we have just one going from Grenada this year. Great young man called Olvin Hollas, who's currently working at UE in Barbados, but he's Grenadian. He's going to be going. So. So it's 10 places for the whole of the Eastern Caribbean, but it's the strongest candidates that get through, no matter where they're from.
Okay.
Eastern Caribbean and Barbados, right? I believe Barbados is including.
Yes, Barbados is, yeah.
Okay. On that note, Richie, I think we will bring you in as a Grenadian. We know you as an advocate, as a young lawyer. Tell us about being in the Shevening program.
Well, it was a very interesting and unique and fulfilling opportunity for me. I had first come across the Shevening Scholarship from previous scholars, and I'd always regarded it as perhaps the most prestigious master's level scholarship that there was. So I applied. The application process is quite rigorous. It's not strictly speaking a competition, but I can understand why one would describe it in those terms, because at least from the Caribbean region, there are hundreds of applicants, and then, of course, as indicated, only 10 spots for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. So I remember just feeling very excited when I realized I was shortlisted, and so there was that excitement that just kind of resided within my heart until the time that the interview happened. Then I did the interview, and then I remember getting the email indicating that I'd finally gotten the scholarship, and my wife, my then fiance, was teaching her yoga class upstairs. I was so elated, I just had to literally run up and disrupt the class and say, and there was much celebration. The experience for me, administratively, the personnel at the High Commission were extremely helpful. Particularly, the person I had to deal with the most, Julie Metzgen, was very personable. They really overextended themselves to make sure that we were taken care of. And in terms of the provisions, it's certainly adequate. It's a full scholarship, so it's not only that your school fee is paid for the master's degree, but your accommodation is paid, and you also get a living stipend, which allows you to live within whichever city your university is based in. And so from the scholarship perspective, I must say kudos to the British FCO and the team. It was rewarding. I must say my first couple of months in London was a bit difficult, not for reasons to do with the scholarship. I just kind of felt like a sheep in a big city kind of thing. It's certainly a culture shock. From even simple things, like for instance in Grenada, our bus system is quite simple. You stick out your hand and get a bus. I know having to learning to navigate overground, underground, X bus, Y bus, and how to kind of get around, simple things like that. So it's certainly a hard learning curve. And England doesn't have the best weather, so the dreariness was something I also had to get accustomed to. But once I kind of got into the group of things, I really enjoyed my time up there.
I want to go back a little bit to before you actually got to England. The application process, and I'm asking that for persons who are there probably daunted by the thought of having to compete with the different territories. How confident were you going in, and how did you prepare yourself for the process?
I would say fairly confident. I mean, in terms of what they were looking for, I felt that I had fit the bill. Of course, I wasn't absolutely certain that I have this in the bag, so there was always an element of doubt. And for me, the preparation was just doing an extremely strong cover letter and extremely strong application letter, including getting feedback from persons, editorial feedback, etc., and just looking back at my history and being able to pitch myself according to what it is they were looking for in candidates, which wasn't really difficult for me. So I had to kind of go back and look at, okay, where were the areas I demonstrated leadership in my professional or related fields, and getting strong references from my academic advisors. And yeah, that was basically the preparation. And in relation to the interview, sort of trying to anticipate what questions would come, which I don't know if one can ever really prepare, because a lot of the questions that they actually asked just threw me for a six, but
Right.
it worked out.
Okay. So how would you say that the scholarship has prepared you for your professional life now?
Well, it has prepared me immensely. I now have a master's degree in a specialism, human rights law. That has opened many doors. I've since become a UN consultant and a consultant for numerous agencies across the Caribbean. And that is one of my unique selling points, that I have a human rights master's degree. Also, it has really exposed me, dropped me into this wider network of people who I have access to up to this day. The alumni network is very strong. So I have friends that I studied with on my program. There are also other Cheveners who are interested in human rights or do human rights work that I can call upon if ever I need a reference for a particular country or need to find something. So in terms of the networking and benefit that has brought to me, that is also important.
Okay, wonderful. You said it covered almost everything. We're talking about travel, we're talking about living stipend, tuition, books, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, you just basically have to pack and go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. You said we have Ms. Freeman.
Yeah,
You were saying, go ahead. You were saying something, Richie? I'm here. We're hearing
you. I was
you.
saying that I certainly would not have been able to. Yeah, I was saying I would not have been able to afford to do a master's degree in the UK, on my own. And I'm still repaying my bachelor's degree student loan. So that would have been an impossibility for me. So were it not for the scholarship, I would not have had a master's degree.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an age range, Ms. Freeman, for people entering the program?
No, there's no age limit at all. The requirement is you need a bachelor's degree and minimum 2 years work experience after your bachelor's degree. So, and we were encouraging as many people to apply, and even those who maybe don't qualify, haven't yet got their bachelor's or haven't got their working experience, to prepare now and think ahead, applying maybe next year or the year ahead, but also trying to encourage as many people who do meet the requirements to apply now. And one thing I didn't give you was the website address for everyone who's interested to look for application process and for more information. And that is www.chevening.org. And Chevening is spelled CheveNing.org.
Okay.
So that's the website for everyone to check out.
And the program application period is open until when?
The 3rd of November it closes, so there's plenty of time to apply. Don't leave it to the last minute, because as Richie mentioned, it's quite a fairly lengthy application process. So don't leave it to the last minute and stay up all night and try and do it like that. You need to prepare, so you need some weeks beforehand to think about it, how you're going to do it, and to do your cover letter and get feedback maybe from some peers and mentors that can help you. So the earliest you start, the better, really.
Okay. Approximately how many universities participate in the program in England? I'm assuming people can choose their universities.
Any university, any course. It doesn't matter. Chevening accepts anybody with an offer, an unconditional offer from any university in the UK. But it's got to be. It's not for an online. It's not for remote learning. You have to travel to the UK and do it.
Okay.
You miss out on the experience if you do it sort of remotely.
I was just about to ask, because with COVID and distance learning being an option many people are offering, there is no way someone can say, I'm seeing lots of cases in England right now, I think it's safer if I stay here at home in Grenada. We can't do it online.
Well, next year we don't know. We hope the situation would improve in time for this current application round. this year what's happening is that some universities are offering the first term online because of COVID. Maybe people are nervous about traveling to the UK, so I think the first term is being offered online, but the aim is to complete everything in person. Because you miss out on the experience being online, you miss out on the networking and the engagement and the Freshers Week and meeting all your colleagues and your other colleague students as well.
Okay, and I think that's the greater part of the experience actually going and meeting new people, as Richie mentioned, new experiences, and it's so different. Is it, as you say, a culture shock from the food to transport to the weather, which we take for granted. Everything is different. Richie, I want to come back to you for a few minutes. What will you say to people who are probably on the fence and a bit hesitant about entering?
I mean, it can't hurt to try, is what I would say, So, in other words, if you don't apply, you cannot get it. And if you apply, you might get it. So I would err on the side of actually applying. And as both Ms. Freeman and I have been saying, it is worth really just taking your time with the application because it is extremely competitive. And even prior to the application, there's also the application that you would have to make to the universities, because I think, I'm not sure if it has changed, but in my year, you had to apply to three universities and have been accepted in three, and ultimately you were given the option of choosing one. So there's also the preparation that needs to go into your application to your universities. Mm-hmm. So I would tell people just take the chance because you never know. You can't get it if you don't apply, so just apply and take your time with the application.
Okay. Would you say you're available to help anyone who's interested and probably just need a little support?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Ms. Freeman, what is the average cost or maybe the actual cost of the scholarship?
I think I've seen a figure of like £18,000 sterling per year, which is the global, I think, Chevening fee. I think that's what the figure that covers the tuition and the living costs. I think that's what it is, £18,000 sterling.
Okay. And how long is the program? I know some people can do a master's in a year. How long is the Chevening program?
It's a 3-year master's year. Program, 12 months.
Oh, 1 year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we wrap?
Not really. No, just to say, encourage as many people as possible to apply. You don't know until you apply. And if you don't meet all the criteria for this time, think about doing it in the future and preparing yourself for the future. But do take a look at the website, see what you need to do, and give as much time as possible.
Okay. And the website again, www.chevening.org.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. We appreciate. Thank you, Richie, for sharing your experience as well.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Thank
folks,
you.
it's a pleasure. Folks, that was Miss Wendy Freeman. She is the resident British High Commissioner here in Grenada, and Mr. Richie Maitland, a past recipient of the Chevening Scholarship. Again, you heard all the information. If you think you are a leader, you have the qualities, you already have a bachelor, it's a plus. Please check out the website, www.chevening.org, and sign up. You never know. It just may change your life. 16 and a half minutes gone past 11. We take a quick break. We have lots more on the buzz for you. Stay with us.
Reading is too hard. Reading school books is lame. I'd rather read about children like me and cool things. I can read, but sometimes I don't even know why I have to. It makes no sense.
Why can't we read about things we like?
Reading is the key to unlocking all learning and ensuring that children reach their potential. Here's what the children have to say.
Make reading fun.
Teach me how to read, but let me practice reading with things I like to read.
Talk walk with me and read with me at least for a short time every day. Let me tell you my own stories.
Read, learn, grow. The children are the future. Help them read, learn, grow. So parents, you play your part.
This message is brought to you by the OECS USAID Early Learners Program, funded by United States Agency for International Development.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Feel good facts. Help prevent cold and flu by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. That's the time it takes to remove most germs. No soap and water? No worries when you've got alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
This is a plastic bag. From February 1st, these bags are not to be used when shopping for food. So here's what you should do. refuse plastic. Instead, bring your own reusable shopping bags and say goodbye to plastic. Choose to refuse plastic. Walk with your reusable shopping bags and help protect pure Grenada from plastic pollution. A message from the Ministry of Climate Resilience.
Pastor Christopher, you're there with us?
Oh, I'm here.
Good morning to you.
Well, top of the morning to you too.
Yeah.
All our listeners over there and viewers, of course.
Yes, it is so good to have you with us. We understand that you're preparing for a grand motorcade on Saturday, a Thanksgiving motorcade.
Oh, sure.
Tell us a bit more.
Motorcade, yes. It is a national Thanksgiving motorcade organized by the Alliance of Evangelical Churches. It's organized by the Alliance, but it is not just for member churches of the Alliance. It is for every one of us here in this nation, yeah? Whether you're a member of a church or not, yeah? It is for everybody. We need to give God thanks. We're encouraging the nation to give thanks to the Most High God, who indeed is good and whose mercy endures forever. Indeed, as a nation, we have so much to be thankful for. So many things. If we're going to name them, it will surprise us the amount of things that God will have done and is doing for us and will do as well. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Mm-hmm. Indeed, our motorcade is starting at 9 o'clock from the National Stadium. At 9 o'clock, we're going to gather there. Of course, we want folks to get there about an hour or so before so that we can organize ourselves. We want to leave from the stadium there at 9 o'clock, okay? Mm-hmm. We're passing through every one of our parishes. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Stopping off in each of the towns. Just for 10 minutes, we're going to be praying in each of the parishes. We'll have pastors and other intercessors praying for the nation. And as we go along the route, we're going to be giving God praise, just giving God thanks. Bless his holy name. Mm-hmm. Now listen, we started off there at the stadium, and we're going through the town of St. George's, of course, yeah, stopping there just for 10 minutes and pray, giving God thanks, and we move on over to St. David. Now, of course, St. David don't have a town, but we stop off at the Lacan Junction for 10 minutes there, and then move on from St. David's over to St. Andrew, stopping off in Grenville town for 10 minutes again, praying, interceding, giving God praise and thanks, and from St. Andrew, moving up the north to St. Patrick, stopping off for 10 minutes in Sauters, and then moving, coming back on the western side from St. Patrick, moving over to St. Mark, stopping off in Victoria, of course, and then to St. John, stopping off in Grove, and then back to St. George's. We really want to start on time so that we can be back in St. George's for before it's dark, by about 6 o'clock latest.
Okay. I was just trying to map out the route so the folks, and I could tell them, remind them again tomorrow, and so they could probably join you along the route if they can't start from St. George.
Yeah. Yes, as a matter of fact, though, we really would appreciate even more if folks will come to the car park there by the stadium for us to start off. Yeah, mm-hmm. We don't want folks necessarily to stay off in St. Patrick's to wait for us or stay off in Grenville. We want all to come together so we can start off together. Mm-hmm. When we reach your parish like St. Patrick's, so we want to stop off fine. But we really, really will appreciate if you will come.
Okay.
Let's all
you really
come
want
together.
A strong start.
So
we should have like 50,000 vehicles trying to get out of the stadium Saturday morning.
Oh, blessed be God. Hallelujah. And now listen, we're expecting a lot of people, but we want to make sure that we all observe the coronavirus, the COVID-19.
I was just about to ask you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We want to make sure we're encouraging that. Yeah. We want to, now of course, you're going to be in our vehicles, right? You're going to be in our vehicles, and family members in the vehicles, you don't necessarily need to put on your mask while you're in the vehicle, as long as everybody in the vehicle there are members from the same household. But if you have members and folks in the car or whatever vehicle with you that's not a member of your household, you need, even if you're in the car, to wear your mask.
Right.
And whenever you stop, if you need to get out of your vehicle, you need to wear your mask and also to observe the physical distance. 6 feet away from each other. Listen, we want to glorify God. We don't want, if there's any asymptomatic individuals with us for others to be infected and the disease to spread. We want to glorify God because He deserves all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise. Bless His holy name.
Okay. So I know that the thrust is to get persons to come out with their private vehicles, but for those who probably don't have a vehicle, will the AAC be providing a bus or so that can take people around?
No, actually, we've been encouraging the churches and so on to organize transport.
Okay.
So public buses and so on will be organized, and of course, if you're not in a private vehicle but in a public bus, the regulations maintained. Buses and so on shouldn't be overloaded. You should have the required maximum amount of individuals, and also everybody in those public transport need to be wearing their masks. You need to make sure your hands and so on are properly sanitized before you get into the public vehicles. Listen, we want to obey the protocols.
Right, and we should. We have to. No, we should. We must. It's a must because it's actually against the law right now. Based on a recent, we've been having those protocol updates, and so it's against the law to not wear your mask and to not observe the protocols. The buses that will be provided by the various churches, and I'm guessing people will have to contact their church to see what is being organized. Would you know if it's going to be a free bus or are people expected to contribute towards it?
That I don't know. Most likely folks will have to,
make a contribution.
Make a contribution. Most likely.
Okay.
I mean, there are church buses and so on, or one or two of the buses the church organized and they head in the bill or foot in the bill. But folks work with whatever money is and so on. You may need to pay if the church is not paying for your ride.
Okay. I'm looking.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to go off. If you were continuing along that path, you should probably continue because I was going in a different route.
Okay. I was saying we really want folks to make it a family affair. A real family outing kind of thing. We want you to pack your baskets and so on, enough food and drink, lots of water because we want to remain hydrated. So we'll be eating and drinking along the way. We won't be stopping off for lunch, really, because that will call for us staying at least an hour or so and mingling. We don't want that. We want folks to remain as much as possible in the vehicles. Those short stops, those 10-minute stops, even if you have to get out of the vehicle, as you said, you need to keep the physical distance and you need to wear your mask and all that.
Okay. I was going to comment on the timing of the motorcade. I think people have been calling for some sort of national day of prayer or some national recognition because we, as you mentioned, we do have a lot to be thankful for. I thought it was going to come earlier. Is the timing, was it planned to coincide as close maybe to our Thanksgiving Day as possible?
Eventually we wanted to have it before school reopened. But a number of the churches, folks are saying they didn't have enough time, to organize themselves. That's why we have it now. But we've had on one occasion, National Day of Prayer and all that, and God has definitely answered our prayers. Not one of our people here in Grenada died from the virus. We're COVID-free as far as we know. There's any active cases. So we just want to give God thanks. We're going to be praying, yes, but mostly just thanking God for His goodness to us as a nation.
Okay. And again, you said the Evangelical Association is planning it, but you're inviting the whole of Grenada. It is not about the church. It's just Grenadians coming out, giving God thanks on Saturday.
Yes. It's just organized by the AAC, the Alliance of Evangelical Churches, but it's not just for the AAC. It's for all of us here in the nation. So whether you be a churchgoer or not, every one of us have reasons to give God thanks. As a matter of fact, every single one who is alive on Saturday need to give God thanks, because it is God who wakes us up every single morning, and your mercies we see. Yeah, all that we are, all that we ever hope to be, we owe it all to Him. So we need to give Him the glory and the praise. We need to give Him thanks. He loves an attitude of gratitude. And sometimes we complain, we gripe, we focus on what we don't have or what we didn't get and that kind of thing, and not focusing on what we do have. Oh, blessed be God, what we've been blessed with. And it is so much. We've been blessed with so much.
A little birdie told me you're actually out of state. Would you be here on Saturday with us?
No. I'm in the state already. I'm in the state, yeah. I've been here for more than a year now.
Okay. That little birdie need to be shot.
But I'm here. So live and direct.
And you will be in front and center on Saturday.
Oh yes. Me and every member of the executive, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, under the leadership of our dynamic leader, Pastor Devon Rache. Oh, what a mighty man of God who's full of passion for not just church people, but for people in general. We love people because God loves us all. We love people, and we want, as a people, as a nation, to just big up our God. To lift His name on high. Praise Him. He deserves the praises. Glory to God.
Who are some of the pastors we'll be seeing on Saturday leading the prayer sessions in the different parishes?
Okay, you have Sister Bishop Esther Batiste, who is organizing that. I don't know the names per se of the various pastors and parishes who have been assigned to pray, but I know in each of the parishes you'll have 2 pastors from each of the parishes praying, blessed be God, and you'll have a worship team from each of the parishes as well. That is a praise team who will lead in songs and praises as we go along the way. We'll have more than one truck, yeah. We'll have this major truck, this main truck that have the praise team and so on. And you'd have other music truck where you just have electronic music and so on. But we'd have a live band, blessed be God Almighty. And I said before, and I'll say it again, we'll be observing the protocols, COVID-19 protocols. Yep.
So you're having a live band on a truck or so?
Yes,
nice.
Yes. A live band as well.
We partying in the streets?
Electronic music. Yes. Oh yes. It's going to be a rare time of praising and just worshiping God. Worshiping Him in music and songs. Bless His holy name. Just lifting up His name.
Okay. So I understand it was organized by the AAC, but was there any outreach to the different churches, the Catholics and the Anglicans and those not part of the AAC, because we're looking at a national event to be part of it?
Definitely. As a matter of fact, we've communicated with the Conference of Churches of Grenada.
Right.
Yeah. So they're invited. They know that they're invited. Even folks who are of the Seventh-day Adventist organization from the Adventist Church, are invited. Listen, we want every denominational wall to be broken. We don't want to be separated by any denomination at all. It's not a denominational thing or a church thing. It is a Grenada thing. As long as you're here in Grenada, blessed be God, we want you to come out and just to give God praise, just to give God thanks. Bless His holy name.
Okay, wonderful. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I know times are hard and some people are saying, I would really love to come, but gas to go around Grenada might be a challenge. Any plans to offer any little stipend or so to help out those who may have some challenges in getting out there on Saturday?
Okay, I don't know that really. We have quite a big budget for, but we didn't budget for that, giving folks money for that. But I'm sure there are churches, individual churches. If whoever individual live in the vicinity, in the proximity of any church, I'm sure they'll be more than willing to help, in whatever way.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, we appreciate you coming on this morning and shedding some more light, because I've been hearing about it. I've been hearing about this Thanksgiving motorcade. I saw some concerns about the COVID protocols being adhered to. And just to verify, you got permission from the Ministry of Health to have this event and the police?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The police, the COVID-19 committee, yes.
Oh, nobody going to be shutting us down once we hit the streets?
At all. Yeah.
We good to go.
Actually, we'll be escorted by the police. The police will be controlling the traffic and all that.
Right. Wonderful. Anything you'd like to leave with us before we wrap?
Oh, just want to say it one more time. And don't forget, it is Saturday at 9, starting off there at the National Stadium for this National Thanksgiving Motorcade. We're going to go right around the island, just giving God praise, giving God thanks for his goodness towards us, every one of us here in this nation. Make it a family affair, yeah? Come along with your family members in your private vehicles. If you have to organize public transport and so on, organize yourselves. And listen, we will love every family to be represented. Yeah, blessed be the name of the Lord. We want to really, listen. Out there, folks look at us. They see different videos and so on of us doing different things. Let them see us. Let folks out there in other parts of the Caribbean, in North America, and so on, Asia, Europe. Let them see us. Grenada lifted up God. Lots of them, they're in lockdown, they can't come outside. Lots of them are dying, they're in mourning because people dying from the virus. Let them see that God has favored us, and we want to give him praise, we want to give him thanks. We want to express how grateful we are to him because we know he loves an attitude of gratitude.
I love it. And a lot of people, they've been wondering what are the churches doing at this time. So the church is bringing out people and we're going to be saying thank you. I hope to see a lot of young people there on Saturday. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to come together and say thank you. We all, as you say, we're always begging for something, eh? Oh God, fix this. do this, please. We need to say thank you. We need to say thank you. So I'm happy for it. And I'll continue reminding and encouraging audiences to participate on Saturday. Thank you so much, Pastor Marcus.
The pleasure is mine. Yeah. God
Thank
bless
you so much.
Enjoy, the rest of the program.
Thank you again. Folks, it is 19 minutes on to that midday hour. We take a quick break and then we just come back with some announcements for you. Stay with us.
Reading is too hard. Reading school books is lame. I'd rather read about children like me and cool things. I can read, but sometimes I don't even know why I have to. It makes no sense.
Why can't we read about things we like?
Reading is the key to unlocking all learning and ensuring that children reach their potential. Here's what the children have to say.
Make reading fun.
Teach me how to read, but let me practice reading with things I like to read.
Talk with me and read with me, at least for a short time every day.
Let me tell you my own stories.
Read, learn, grow. The children are the future. Help them read, learn, grow. So parents, you play a part.
This message is brought to you by the OECS USAID Early Learners Program, funded by United States Agency for International Development.
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
My granddaughter. You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
EC Polymer Notes, our new money.
Here's how you can detect genuine EC polymer notes. Feel. Polymer notes feel smoother than the material from which paper notes are made. Also, the front of each note has raised bumps at the top left-hand corner. These bumps form shapes that are familiar to you. Look for the clear window at the front and back of each note. This window allows you to see through the notes. If you hold the notes up to the light, you'll see the value of the note in an area of plain colored print. Tilt. A holographic foil is on the $100, $50, and $20. The images move and their colors change when you tilt the notes. Remember, detecting genuine EC polymer notes is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Feel, look, and tilt.
EC Polymer Notes. Cleaner, safer, stronger.
Minutes on to 12 is our time, and it's time to put a wrap on it. You know, folks, I was just looking at some commercials on the TV there, and they're talking about the EC dollar, but I think the EC digital dollar is actually going to be launched sometime this month, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to try to get some more information on that for you, because it's going to be a way to conduct business very much easier across the region. You can shop online, pay with that digital dollar, do lots of business transactions. It should be something that is going to be beneficial for us. But I'll find out some more. I know they started a pilot project last year. I'll check to see where it's at, but I believe it will be coming out sometime this month, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll tell you some more. Before we wrap, we have some notices for you. So the first is a stakeholder meeting for the trucking industry, and that is going to be happening today. The Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry of Infrastructure, Development, Public Utilities, Energy, Transport, and Implementation. They're inviting all commercial and private owners of flatbed vehicles and trucks, including delivery, open bed and box trucks, SL trucks, trucks involved in solid waste collection and disposal services, heavy duty equipment, trailer tractors, all other categories of trucks and heavy equipment of 700 kgs and greater. So that is for you. The meeting is happening, as I said, today at 5 p.m. at the National Stadium. That's the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. You're passing through Gate A. You're passing through Gate A, and that is on the lower level. That meeting starts at 5. The focus of this meeting is to discuss the management of traffic along the Western Main Road corridor and other pertinent traffic and transport issues related to the operations of the trucking industry. The Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry are soliciting the attendance of all stakeholders in the trucking industry at this very important meeting. You are advised that COVID-19 protocols are in full effect, so walk with your masks and your hand sanitizers and observe the physical distancing protocols. We also have an announcement from the food fair. The public is advised that the food fair supermarket Grand Anne St. George's will be closed for stock taking on Monday, September 21st. Food Fair is apologizing for the inconvenience caused and thank you for your continued support. The Food Fair where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets, and you can win free groceries for 1 year by shopping at the food fair between now and September 30th. Tomorrow we will have the marketing executive at Hubbard's with us on the program, and you can hear how the promotion is going, find out how you can participate. You still have a couple more weeks. We'll give you an update tomorrow during the mid-morning buzz. That's it for now, folks. Don't forget, we had some information, some very important information from our guest today. The Shevening Scholarship is open. It is open until November 3rd, I believe. You can check out the application process online at www.chevening.org, and Chevening is spelled Chevening. You'll check it out and go through the process. You never know. And of course, we have the Thanksgiving motorcade happening on Saturday. As you heard, it starts at 9 from the National Stadium. We have to leave it here. Stay with us on Classic Radio. The midday edition of news with Beverly Telesford is up next. I'm Janelle. Have a fantastic Thursday. Bye-bye.